Today. I'm glad to be here. Ethan Mussolini is my name, and friends call me Muso. So if you want to become my friend, you can say, hi, Muso. Hi. Hi. By the way, I met Shiba. Shiba has just announced that we met when I spoke at an event when she was still with World Vision. And tell you what, that's about 10 years ago. So in case she's been lying to you that she's sweet 16, trust me, she's not, okay? But, so there she is. In 1994, I was 17 years old. So that should give you an idea. Actually, last week, when was 21st? When was 21st November? About 3 weeks ago, I celebrated 40 years on planet Earth. To pay attention to yourself, to your engine, before you can give out. And this is what I mean. These are some of the dangers I see in organizations like this. Even to a point that when you have some leave days, some people do not acknowledge and respect them. Someone is on leave, before you know it, 2-3 days down the road, they appear back in office. What do you want? We thought you're on leave. I know. What do you want? I've come to send email. Hey! You mean you can't afford a modem of 60,000 to do email from home? But the challenge also is that there are some people who do not know how to live outside work. So you get home, you flick on TV, you watch you read the newspapers from page 1 to the last page, and I'm like, what do I do now? Because before, when you arrive, the operations manager wants a report, the finance wants a report, HR wants a report, so there's structure. Now you're in an unstructured world, so then you get confused to a point of being stressed out. In that what should be a leave day becomes a stressful day. So the trick also is learn how to live outside your workplace. And tell them there's life outside work. Not appreciating our colleagues enough. And these are at two levels. There's at a peer level, and there is at managerial subordinate level. At peer level, even if someone stepped in for you while you were away, even if it was 2 hours, thank them, appreciate them, mention it at the rooftops. Number 2 is the managerial subordinate level. Managers, where are you? Managers, supervisors, where are you? SLT, I heard of it. Is it SLT? Yeah. Okay, good. Let me tell you something. You have a big role to drive this team forward. And what I see in some organizations is some managers, they know how to communicate. They know how to register their presence when someone has messed up. When you fall short, come to my office. And now when you hear that word, come to my office, now you know there's big trouble. Close that door. Hey, you are one of the managers. Yeah? No? Okay. Close that door. I tell you for you if you close. And so when you close the door, it's as if your career is also going to close down. And I would like to suggest that that's okay to give feedback when people have not done things right. And let's also, when we are giving feedback, by the way, I have a DVD on the art of giving and receiving feedback, so I would encourage you to check it out. So I may not go into detail with that. But so it's well and good when someone has done something challenging. By the way, closing the door is a good thing, because I believe that you criticize in private and praise in public. So that's all well and good. And may I also suggest, the same conviction, the same power and passion you use to criticize and challenge people, can we also do the same thing when they do good? When they have done something right, can we also praise them and mention it before everyone and make them feel good and tell them thank you, and I thank you because you did ABCD? Because the other dynamic I've noticed is that there are some managers, when you do a good job, they say, oh, thank you, full stop. But they don't give you the detail of what they are happy about. But when you do something wrong, how much detail do you get? Huh? In fact, I even noticed your nose was twitching, and then even the way you were walking. So much detail. So I'm saying, can we also find the detail of the goodness done, so they know how to replicate it in future? And many years ago, that was in 1999 when I was concluding campus, someone lent me a book, The 1 Minute Manager. Has anyone ever read that book? The 1 Minute Manager. Great book. All managers would encourage you to get it. Actually, all of us, not managers. I don't remember most of the details, but there's one line I remember that stuck in my head. And it is 18 years later, I still remember that line. It says, catch someone doing something good. But you know, there are people who are always on the lookout to find out when you've done wrong. Have you seen these cars? Call and report bad driving. One day I would want to see a line, call and report good driving. Who reports the good driving? Who reports that? But this is not just managers, even ourselves. There are some people we know they come by your laptop and they are looking, how are you? Meanwhile, they are looking for the latest news to spread around. Save the Children FM. For me, for me, part of the definition of success is you find something that you love and can do passionately and you're paid for it. So I hope you really love what you're doing. Some people, like some of my contemporaries who are in the 40-year range, some of them look like they are 50 years old. And it's partly because they are doing something they don't love. So if you really for me, I usually tell people, find something that you love and do it, or find a way to love what you're doing. Boss, I hope you love what you're doing. But the way you're seated tells me you love it. So for me, it's extremely critical that do you really have the passion? How do you measure passion? Passion means every day you're looking forward to going forward and doing the work, doing the job.
Don't feel like it.
Come again?
But there are days when you don't just feel like doing it.
Now, if there are those days once in a while, that's understandable. Just like there are once in a while when you don't have appetite for chicken, though you crushed the chicken you had a moment ago. Yeah. So, if it is once in a while, that's understandable. But if you find Monday to Friday, I don't feel like one, then there is a problem. But if out of 30 days, maybe 1 or 2 days, there are those days that come. Because sometimes it's not the cause of work. Feel right. But I'm talking about generally speaking. I mean, even me, I love what I do. But there is once in a while, a few days in the year, I would say a few days in the year, when I feel like just staying at home. That's all. But that could be possibly 5 or 7 days a year. That could be it. But generally, I love what I do because this is something that I would do. And here is another test to know whether you're really passionate. And that's a great question, by the way. Too bad I've run out of chocolates. So one of the biggest tests on whether you're really passionate about your work is, if you had all the money on the bank account, would you still be doing the kind of work that you're doing? Meaning the line of work. It may not be to work with Save the Children, but the line of work. Are we together? I'll tell you, when I was seated there, in fact, my health is not at its best. But now, after getting the mic and looking at you, my energy levels are back like by 5 points or so, to speak, out of 10. Why? Because I love speaking. When I see people, even people who are bald-headed like my brother here, I feel excited. Because I can say when he smiles, he looks much younger. And yes, please continue smiling. So for me, that's the key thing. I love what I do. If I see someone nodding, and that gives me life. So is the work that you're doing giving you life? How many of us want to be promoted? By show of hands. By show of hands. You want to go to another level. Fantastic. Now, one of the ways for you to be promoted, can I give you the quickest tip? Can I give you the quickest tip? 2 quick tips. One is behave at a leadership level. Take care of the team, of the people around you, to enable them to do great work. That should be your number one driving force. But if for you are always looking out for yourself and not the team, then trust me, you will remain there, or you will spend a long time where you are at. Number 2, the second tip that I usually like giving people is, when you're going to your boss or the person above you, when you have a challenge, don't just go with problems. I have this problem. I have this problem. Now I have this problem. Now I have a challenge. Now every time someone sees you, they are like, now what is the problem? Because now you've branded yourself as a problem expert, as a messenger of problems. Instead, when you have a challenge, this is what I'm suggesting. When you have a challenge, you know what? Lutaro, I have this challenge. I'm thinking of two possible solutions. What do you think? I was thinking of A and B. What do you think? Now, when he sees you, he sees what? Solutions. That's how you brand yourself. Focus. The moment you become solutions focused, and this works either at the workplace, also in life. Because part of what I do is I do life and career coaching. So when people come with me with their problems, I always tell them, focus 100% on solutions. That's how my current coach has trained me. Always says 100% of your time on solutions. And this principle works across board. Because also when I'm invited for such events to speak to people, I'm interested in giving you tools that not only will work at the workplace, but also outside work. That's my interest. And here is something also that I know, that when you improve in the way you work, the way you are as a person, you also improve in the way you work at the workplace. Because some of us could be saying, okay, the work is too stressful, it's true that, it's true this, is this, and that. Kumbe, you have lots of unresolved issues at home. You have financial stress and you're calling it work stress. Meaning you earn 3 million, but the way you actually spend 4.5 million a month. You say work is stressful, work is no. So that financial stress is translated. Are we together? Or possibly the relationships at home are not right, and now that stress you bring it to work. And also the other thing is, I usually advise people that if you have challenges at home and the like, what you do is before you enter Save the Children space, before you enter them, first offload them, put them there, put on a smile, put on your best, and come and say, hello, how are you doing? Give me a high five. Yeah, like that. And work and work and work. Bring in positive energy, because then that's how you do your best work. And that's how you also enable them. Then once you're done, say, guys, have a fantastic evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Work with a lot of energy. And when you got here, please remember to put them back and then disappear. Okay? And take them off, because we don't want to step on them when we are going out. So, and that means also, if you are to bring, as we move forward, just to give you a couple of solutions, then I conclude this, is number one is be present wherever you are. Be present. But the challenge I see is people are at work, and when they're at work, they are home at work. They are typing like, but the landlord, I hope the landlord doesn't call right now when I'm in a meeting. So you're there just working. So think about your energy as this ball of energy. In that any thoughts, anything coming up, then this ball of energy, which was originally big, now is going, every time you bring your presence away, to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Does that make sense? So in that your actual power is not felt. Have you ever been with people but you don't feel their presence? Yeah, and it's partly because they are there physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, they are somewhere else. And it also means that when you go home, then go home. But you go there. What are some of the projects you're working on at Save the Children? Honey? NORAD. So you are there working, then you get home, and then when you see your wife, you're hugging. Your wife will ask you, who is that NORAD? And you're in big trouble. So instead, when you're at home, do your best to be at home. Put your phone in silence. There are people who don't, it's amazing, people, they don't want to leave their phone away. Hello? Are you hearing me? Even in the toilet, you hear the, hello? What? Boss, have respect. Aeneas, what is Aeneas now? Okay, so, have presence. So, for me, peperere. If you're to get the most out of yourself in 2018, be where you are at. If you're driving, drive. If you're at home, be at home. When whatever it is that you're doing, just do it.